What's up, guys? It's Zane here with the Conservative Input. This is going to be our first episode. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. It's going to be a little bit choppy because we're not really used to it. It's the first time doing it. But hopefully it goes well. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like. Also, share this video just in case the big tech censors us. Also, don't forget to go follow our Instagram page at the Conservative Input. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoy. And that's the Conservative Input. Welcome to the Conservative Input. I'm joined by these amazing people that helped me start this whole thing. Well, it's kind of our whole...
Woke businesses have become such a big problem. Like, I've gathered just tons of resources, and what I'm seeing, it's just so not good. It's just alarming, honestly, that people are just ignoring the fact that these companies, they're advancing this political agenda that want to guilt like a specific group of people, make them feel ashamed about who they are. And it's like, is that the way to solve, all for the sake of like solving racism? And I asked myself, is that really the way to solve racism?
Yep.
Come on, man.
Well,
And so what I want to like even just like discuss, and even just for everybody watching, it's like, do we want to ask ourselves, how can we fight racism without pushing an agenda? How can we help everyone, no matter what their skin color is, to be valued? How can we do that?
Yeah, and it goes for like racism with skin color, but also literally like every hot topic issue right now. So.
And I think we actually got a video on this. We're going to be reacting to the CIA's amazing recruitment video. I know I've seen it. I don't know if everyone's seen it.
I have not seen it.
No, I don't know.
Are in for.
I'm excited.
It's quite the amazing video. Let me just share it quick. And if you guys want to laugh at it, go ahead. I do not care. I'm gonna play.
Declaration. A woman whose inflection does not rise at the end of her sentences, suggesting that a question has been asked. I did not sneak into CIA. My employment was not and is not the result of a crying toddler with the other. I am a woman of color. I am a mom. I am a cisgender millennial who's been diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. I am intersectional, but my existence is not a box-checking exercise.
Oh my Lord.
I am a walking declaration. A woman whose inflection does not rise at the end of her sentences, suggesting that a question has been asked. CIA.
Go ahead.
I love how they're like. She said like she's not in the checkboxing area. Yeah, she just listed off a whole bunch of things that she's under or identifies as.
I love how she had to say that she was a cisgender.
Exactly, that's my point.
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
So
straight?
Yeah, so cisgender, what it is they identify as the gender they're born as. So, now
There's a term for that.
because it kind of debunks the whole left's theory of, you don't know the gender of a baby when they're born. You can't tell if they're male or female when they're born. And then you got cisgender, which pretty much debunks their whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing we need to look at, like when we watch that video, especially when we watch that video, is no business or like organization is like kind of like out of reach for this kind of woke ideology. You know, you have the CIA, you know, talking about cisgender and all these other things. You know, why do you need to go that far? You know, why couldn't you just say, yes, I am a woman who is part of the CIA, and hey, that's a great thing.
That in itself is great enough. So
you know, you don't need to wokeify it with all these terms that in reality don't really mean much.
Yeah,
you know?
they had to pander so much, and I don't even understand why. Like you're saying, like, why does the CIA have to do that? Like, I don't know.
Like, that does not make me want to work for the CIA whatsoever. I would be like, oh, that's what they are going for?
Yeah, it's like,
I'm good.
Yeah, they're going full woke. Same with the military. The military's going full woke.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So instead of going into battle knowing that you have strong masculine men next to you, you're going into battle with pink-haired lesbians that are scared.
And pregnant females.
We're screwed by China and Russia. That's it.
They're laughing at us right now.
Oh, they're laughing at us for sure. I mean,
we're digging our own grave, and they're watching.
It is.
Yeah.
Or another huge company, Coca-Cola.
Oh, yes.
They're a huge, I guess, influence in the woke businesses, and they kind of
try to be less white. Excuse me. Be less white.
Be the color of the coat.
I apologize.
Oh my gosh, you guys! As an Asian, like, I don't know why y'all like they're trying to make y'all be like less white. I'm like, I like who you guys are. Like, I like who I am right now. Like, why can't just we teach our kids to like appreciate like what we are as people? Like, why do we have to like just dwell on the mistakes of the past? That's what the woke companies, they want to push on us. They want to white people to be like, oh, you have to remember the mistakes of your ancestors, as if any of you guys made the mistakes that your ancestors made. Like, come on, man.
It's just guilt tripping and virtue signaling to make money and get popular.
Well, and then also there are so many different like cultures, you know, like you have like the Russians, Moldovians, you know, and it's like it's not just like white people, you know. I just don't understand how it can be so generalized, and you know, we can be put into one stereotype. These white people, you know, it's the complete opposite of what they're saying.
Yeah.
I think we need to take a good look back at Martin Luther King and what he said, and to judge someone not based on their skin color, whether they're white or black or brown, but based on their character and
the content of their character.
Yes. Yes.
Which seems like nowadays it should be a simple like principle and so basic, but they're taking it the opposite way. And that's now like controversial, which is so stupid.
And it's because, you know, they want you. It's the same reason why these big companies are doing it, you know. They want you to notice these type of things because they want to, you know, once a year have this month where they can advertise something and make more money.
Extra sales, yeah.
And that's one of the biggest reasons why CRT is being pushed so much, is because they know if they get our youth in on this, you know, they know in the future those youth are going to be looking for that month where they can, you know, change their profile picture, or they can buy from a certain company that supports LGBTQ or or you know. And I mean, hey, it's fine, you know, but it really needs to happen across the board. It can't be something that happens once a month or in only one subsection. You know, you see it, especially with like Bethesda. You know, I don't know if any of you guys know what Bethesda is. It's a video game company, and they changed their logo for Pride Month in the U.S., but with their Middle Eastern section of their company, they left it the same. And you know, it really does show the pandering. You know, because they're not willing to do it in this region because of cultural beliefs in that region, but anywhere else they'll do it because they know it's going to bring money.
Yeah, again, it's just to like check it off the box so they don't even have to actually care about the issue.
Well, that's the problem. Everybody's trying to push their agenda, you know, and they don't care like what it does. That it's like, you know, that even the majority of people don't even think that way. But the people that are the loudest, that's who that they're catering to, you know, and that's what they're trying to do because they're the loudest ones.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, when did we see that? Like, when in our childhood have we seen stuff like this? Like, I don't have any memory whatsoever. Like, when we were 10 years old, did we ever have all this stuff pushed on us? Like, I don't think so.
Going back to like woke business and stuff like Mr. Potato Head. Why do they have to change that? I don't want any kid
cares or knows. They shouldn't even know yet.
I was telling Blue's Clues. When I used to watch
Yep.
Blue's Clues, I didn't care what gender I was while watching it.
Yeah,
I was entertained by the salt shaker and the pepper shaker. Blue
exactly.
dog. I wasn't
Yeah, right.
what gender I was, whether I was a boy or a girl.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, it's like, what they want to do is they want to push this agenda, and they want to try to
Mhm.
indoctrinate people.
And the children, and that's going to be the problem because they're pushing these agendas, and so the children are going to think, oh, that's how it's supposed to be. This is how it's
Yeah.
going to go, and that's not how it is whatsoever. And it's going to be sad to see, children growing up and how they think that everything's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
that's-
it's going so fast.
And in like companies and in like sections of the economy where like children have the most say, that's what you'll see it the most, in TV shows,
Yeah.
on social media, sports. Because hey, I don't know any like 10-year-old boy who wasn't like, yo, I want to watch a football game or something,
Oh my
and
gosh.
and that's where it happens the most.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
also another thing is like I've never seen people care about like whether football is inclusive or not, or there's not enough gay people or
Yeah.
black people or Asian people in media. It's like that's never been a problem. Why are you now bringing it up?
Oh my gosh. Besides, like, the NFL has already a lot of black players. Like, even before this whole woke thing, like, there were already tons of black people playing for the NFL. Like, Russell Wilson, Richard Sherman, like, I could go on with the list. Like, Dante Hightower. I would literally go on.
Yeah, the NBA and the NFL, most of their teams, like a huge majority of their players, are African American.
Yeah,
I'm
and-
saying that there's not enough diversity in it.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but the U.S. Like men's basketball team, they were criticized for not having an all-black team when like I don't know if it was the past four, but I know it was in like 2000, 2004, 2008, and then 2016. We had all-black teams.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't see an issue with that at all. I just don't understand why not having an all-black team is an issue. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you shouldn't be picked for a position regardless if it's sports or like on a CEO board or whatever,
Yeah.
based on the color of your skin or your gender or whatever it is.
Exactly.
You should have the most merit, if like for college, I definitely wouldn't want somebody who did better than me on the SAT to not get into a college that I got into. It wouldn't
Yeah.
make sense. It'd be unfair.
It's just like
Yeah.
going back to the military. I'd rather have somebody.
Who can protect you?
Yeah, somebody. So going back to like all these businesses, not just like the military or like the CIA, all these businesses. I'd rather hire somebody based on their skill level, and their
Qualified.
talent, and if they're qualified, than to have them hired because their race, their gender, or their sexual orientation, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, man.
It's
But
like,
what does that tell them? Like for people for this agenda that's being pushed forward, what does that tell people whenever this is happening? The ones that don't fit whatever that they're looking for, they don't have a certain skin color. What does that tell them? That tells them, oh, well, sorry, you don't fit that. We can't have you,
Yeah.
and
and then
change it.
yeah, and then if you're giving all these people like, here, you get this, like, what does that make them think? Oh, I'm not, like, I wouldn't be good enough otherwise if it wasn't for the color of my skin or whatever,
Which is
yeah.
I think one of the huge reasons
Like,
that these companies and these like this whole thing, it's like the whole woke, I guess, movement, is because they're trying to enforce this everyone's a winner generation, and that nobody wants to work. So that's why they're hiring people and they're making this whole thing for people that don't want to put in any work.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what it is. They want to they just want all this stuff handed to them. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
And they want acceptance, but they don't want to put any work in.
Oh my gosh.
Which in turn makes us weaker overall,
Yeah. Why? Like, why not? Okay, so it's like, this is why I say, like, just get rid of affirmative action. Like, I can't believe even the woke companies, they like, they decide to like list out race. It's like, what's your race? As if we have to know everything about your race. Why can't you just hand out a simple job application,
Yeah.
regardless of race. Like,
Yep.
why do you have to say like, why do you have to say like, oh, whether you're white, you're Hispanic, you're Asian? Like, I can't believe they put race. Or maybe it's because like they want your basic info. Like, I don't care, but still.
Well, if they're trying to get away from, or if they're trying to make it to where it's not racist or anything like that, then why would you put your race down?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't need to be on there,
Oh man.
So I think what they're trying to do, or I know this is what they're trying to do. At least a majority of the people on the left, it's coming from a good place, and like I've said plenty of times, a couple bad apples ruins like the entire batch. And that's what's happened on the left. There's a few people that are in charge that have decided this is why we're doing things, or this is what we're doing, and they have completely ulterior motives compared to the rest of the other side. And with affirmative action, when it was put in place, it was coming from a good place, but it's led to so many people, even other minorities, losing chances at scholarships. And in reality, it's hurting especially the Black community more than it's helping, because now you have a generation of kids who are taught that they don't have to be the best. They don't have to try as hard. They don't have to want to succeed because of the color of their skin. They don't have to do as good, which sucks. Because
like you have to be pushed like as a person. It's so easy to just like settle for what's easy and what you're comfortable with, but we have to, as young people especially, have standards set that we can live up to, so then that we can actually like rise above circumstances, rise above our own failings, and actually like be productive and like let our values show instead of just like
a huge example of that, the Air Force recently, they got rid of running out of their fitness test, and now it's going to be walking, and they also had modified push-ups to I guess accommodate women or people that aren't allowed to do that stuff.
As a woman that works out frequently, I feel like if you can't do enough push-ups, then you need to continue to work on them. That's how I feel.
Or it's kind of like I guess like working out, it's like just doing like a little bit won't make you the best. You gotta work on it. Like me just doing like, I guess 2 reps of 10 won't make me a bodybuilder. Definitely a bodybuilder. I gotta work for that.
Well, and then also, like, if you're a woman that's going into the military or that's going into law enforcement, you have to push yourself, because obviously it's more male dominated. And so it's like you're going to have to push yourself more because more men do work in that field. So you do need to work out. You do need to be in better shape. You need to be stronger and all of that.
And it's so dangerous because you're literally going to get killed if you can't. So it's not only an insult, it's damaging and could be life-threatening, and it's really awful. And it would hurt the people who are relying on you to protect them too. So it hurts everyone, literally.
I really like how you said how it's an insult, because it's the same exact thing with the affirmative action. It's like lowering the bar for women joining the military. It's telling them
what kind of equality is
that? What kind of equality? It's literally telling them that they are not as good. Therefore, we need to set the bar lower so more women can join. It's terrible to say.
Absolutely.
I think it's kind of funny how like also another thing, like these woke businesses and like the whole whole woke movement, that's what I'm going to address as, they're trying to also say that like women are strong as men, yet they go and do stuff to accommodate women. They have to lower the standards, and they're saying that, oh well,
they prove themselves wrong in a bad way.
Well, and then to say that, like, okay, we just need to accept some of the facts. Men usually are stronger than women. Yes. Okay, cool. I'm good with that. I mean, if a woman wants to be stronger, sure, go work out, go do things, but we will never be as strong as some men. But it's because of our body types. We're not meant to be as strong as men, you know?
I think that's like one thing that these like you need to realize is that nothing, I guess, is going to be inclusive. Like these companies, there's no way that you can
all inclusive.
include everybody.
Yeah, because
Everyone's
there's no
different.
value in that. Everyone's unique and everyone's different. So everyone can't be at the same level in every way.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean they're less valuable inherently.
Mhm.
It just
Right.
means people are different.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like with companies, what they should do is they shouldn't be lowering the standard for people. They should be having people meet their standard and have to
Exactly.
push themselves towards that to
Yep.
show they really want this. Because
Mhm.
if people don't really want this, what's to keep them from staying there? Or what's to keep them from becoming their
Mhm.
personal best?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, like doing it as like lowering their standards also kind of lowers, I guess, the standards for everybody, I guess.
Yeah.
Because what it is once these companies start lowering their standards, people will start lowering their standards, and then people around them will see that, and then they'll start lowering their standards.
Yeah, and we'll have a useless society and be awful as individuals.
Mhm. And especially if you do that for the military, who is
Yeah.
supposed to be protecting our country,
Mhm.
you know, I mean, you're going to make our military weak,
Yeah.
you know?
The military is supposed to be
The highest.
Yeah.
they're supposed to be elite, the best of the best.
Yeah.
If you're making the standards the same as everyday people,
Mm-hmm.
our military is going to collapse. It's going
Well,
Yeah.
and then,
fall
like
apart.
other countries, you know, like we were just talking about Russia and, you know, China and all that, they would look at that and they would make a mockery of us.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they're not wasting their time talking about being woke. They're spending their
They're
time
pushing
training.
their people.
And
Yeah.
the thing is, like, regardless of if you're the best of the best, anybody can join the military and anybody can train to be better.
Mhm.
That's what they're doing, you know?
Yeah.
While we're focusing on, you know, making sure we're all inclusive in like a branch of literally the government that's meant to
Mhm.
protect. Other nations are like, you know, screw inclusivity.
Good.
You know, you work your ass off.
Yeah.
You know, we'll put you out there and you're going to do good for our country.
Yep.
And
And you can even, it's crazy, you can even see it at, again, our topic, the topic of like woke businesses, and we use the ad of the CIA. You can see it at literally the level of their ads. I forgot what it was, but a few weeks ago I was watching, I think it was a Russian military ad,
Yep,
something like
yep.
that. And it was
Ah,
very
I watched
Army.
that.
yeah, and it was so opposite of what ours are right now. It's like
Yeah.
you can literally see it right there. They make it so obvious that we're being
about
laughed at and we're
mainstream.
leaving.
Yep. Or it's kind of like I guess kind of like military. It's like saying like if you take the Navy SEALs, which are supposed to be special forces, like almost the
Mhm.
best of the entire military. That's like taking them and lowering them to like basic military training, and then that would be like what's
basic
the point?
infantry, yeah.
Yeah, what's the point of the Navy SEALs then? So that's
Yeah.
basically what they're saying is that if we're going to take our top military, if we're going to take the military, which is supposed to be the best of
Yeah.
best to protect
Top-notch.
our nation and lower it to everyday standards, what's the point of a military at that point?
Yeah,
What's
Yeah.
the point if everyone's going to get in and everyone's a winner?
yeah,
You got to earn your spot.
yeah.
not just-
If everyone's a winner, then no one is, because like the winner is the person who beat the other man, you know, like in the definition. So,
Or like sports. They're trying to
yeah,
make everybody winners there too. Like the transgender athletes. That's a huge thing. They lose in the men's sports. They're losers. They don't like that. So they go to women's sports so they can win because they have a biological advantage.
hmm
And as a woman, that is an insult.
It is.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know a couple days ago, was it a couple days ago or was it yesterday? I talked about the whole Laurel Hubbard situation.
Yeah.
I have not read up on it anymore, but
Yeah.
the general consensus is that he wasn't doing too hot in men's competitions.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So you see New Zealand like say, yeah, his testosterone levels are low enough that he can compete as a woman, but you know, regardless of like testosterone or estrogen, you know, she still got physical strength of a man, you know?
Yeah.
Test the DNA. If you test the DNA, what is it still going to be? It's still going to show
And
that
that's gonna why.
he is a man.
Yeah, like, come on, bro. Like, you're a man. You're a man. You got balls. Like, you're a man. You're not a woman. Like, are you kidding me? Like, all this freaking transgender stuff. Like, okay, I remember like just sharing like whole Biden stuff on like transgender sports, and my friend just like my woke Christian friend literally just commented that I was quote unquote scared that some transgender boy's gonna dunk on me. And I was like, oh my gosh, the woke businesses like that, it's just like it's so bad. Like
Well, honestly, and like in part of my research that I've done, it talks about the Major League Baseball,
Mhm.
and with all of that that's going on with them, and it's like honestly, you have no business in this. Your
Exactly.
sport, your
Yeah.
sport. Focus on your sport.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like
why-
if I want to go to an NBA game, I want to watch basketball. That's
Right.
it. I just want to have
Yeah.
a good time.
yeah,
You're asking for too much.
yeah. If I want to go watch sports, I want to watch the actual sport, not some spoiled celebrities think they know everything, kneeling on the
Making a statement.
yeah, making
And that's
doing the national
that's the
anthem.
thing,
Yeah,
you're a celebrity and you're like
you have a platform.
you're an athlete. You're
getting
using your
paid.
platform to literally affect other people, and
Mhm.
you're getting paid to play sports or play this part in a movie. You're not getting paid to speak your
your-
political beliefs. You're
Yeah.
allowed to have them. Nobody
Mhm.
says you can't have them. But
Right.
while you're like on the clock or whatever,
Yeah.
that's not your job.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of like, it's
Mhm.
kind of like a normal job. Like you're not really supposed to
Yeah.
talk about politics when you're on the job.
Exactly.
That's what it should be for these sports. 'Cause
Yeah, and
There's no business for it there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No
they're,
reason.
they're exploiting it.
One of
Mhm.
the UFC president, I'm blanking his name right now, but I like
Joe Rogan.
he's the announcer.
Oh.
But yeah, I liked how he put it. He said that once they're in the octagon, all the politics leave. He said that people don't want to come and watch
Yeah.
sports for
I swear that was
politics.
Joe Rogan.
They just want to go home. They want to veg out and watch some sports. So that's why I like UFC and how they
Mhm.
don't have any politics involved. And he said that whenever you watch a UFC fight, you won't have to worry about that. All you're worried
Nope.
about is the fight. That's all you're gonna
Yeah.
worry about, and that's all you're watching.
Yeah.
So that's how I think every single sport and even these businesses should
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. 'Cause
Focus on what you're signed up to do. You
what
know
you're
what I mean?
supposed to be focused on. Yeah. Like,
Like these businesses that sell like Coke for selling soda. I think they should be more worried about selling soda than worrying about people being too white.
yeah.
That,
Absolutely.
And like it doesn't.
That's
make
what they're
sense.
paying for.
Well, and then in some of the research, it keeps bringing up like the airlines, like Delta Airline and then American Airlines, and
Yeah.
here they are releasing statements about everything that's going on, and it's like, what? Why?
Yeah, American Airlines, they're wanting to hire people based on their gender and race.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that kind of racist?
yeah. Come on, bro.
What are we looking at? Skin color?
Hire somebody off their race and not like their
Qualifications?
qualifications? Yes. So I bet there's
That's
gonna be
an
planes
insult.
dropping out of the skies. There's
And I mean,
Yeah.
Exactly.
there's
Again,
a
it's
bunch of-
dangerous. It's not just wrong, it's
No.
dangerous.
It is dangerous. It is.
Literally.
and so I think the thing is, in lower positions where you don't really have to have many qualifications, yeah, I don't necessarily agree with it, but it's not one of those things I'm worried about. I'm worried about positions like pilots. We don't want
Yeah.
planes falling out of the sky.
Yeah.
I'm worried about positions like CEOs and
Yeah.
board members
Law
and
enforcement.
and
The
law
military,
enforcement, the
yeah.
military, where you need to have a skill set
Mhm.
that, and if you don't have it, hiring someone based solely on their race or their gender or what pronouns they use isn't the best route to go, because you're going to end up with a workforce that isn't capable of doing what they need to do.
Yeah.
Well, it's wrong and unfair.
Yep, a
Mhm.
Yeah.
huge example of this. We're probably going to get censored by YouTube for me saying this, but
Oh,
Kamala
no.
Harris, our vice
First
president,
day,
is a huge
Oh, yeah.
example of that. She
she checked off the box.
she was elected for race, gender,
Gender.
and then you see what's
Yeah.
going on with the border and what she's doing about it. She's doing nothing about it.
Yeah.
She has no clue how to deal with it. So that's a huge example. People are getting hired, people are getting elected based on their race, gender, And
Well, and ultimately, it's going to bring down everyone. You know, everybody's trying to be so woke. Well, it's going to bring down the businesses. It's going to bring down, you know, the branches of the military. It's going to bring down law enforcement. It's going to bring down everywhere. And it's like, they're like, oh, let's be so woke. Okay, let's destroy, you know, the United States because you care about that.
why just leave the politics out of
Yeah.
it?
Come on, bro.
Like they
Yeah.
canceled,
Have some normalcy.
syrup because there's a black lady on it. What
Oh
does
my
that
gosh.
have to do with anything? It's a bottle
Come
of
on.
syrup.
Kamala Harris and empowerment for women and minorities. Oh my gosh. Empowerment for women and minorities, my butt.
Well, and then like if you just look at the border, I mean, you know, like she should be out there supporting the Hispanic community and doing things like that, and she's not out there doing that.
It took Trump. It took Trump
going there.
scheduling to go to the border for Kamala to do
Yes.
anything about it. Because whenever anybody talked to her about it, she'd get like this little nervous state where she just start bursting out laughing whenever.
Yeah,
anything
because she's
happens.
afraid that you know, whenever she would show up, they would be like, well, you know, Trump won. What are you doing here? Like,
Was it Venezuela or was it?
Or Guatemala. That was Guatemala.
Yeah.
When she went there and they had Trump won flags, Kamala go home. And
Yeah,
she did
exactly.
El Paso too, even though she's like, okay, let's go to the border. It goes to El Paso. The border.
Oh,
is-
yeah.
The border is nowhere near that. I think the problem is that instead of hiring people off their race and gender, they need to hire people off their qualifications. Because I'm pretty sure the person that told Kamala they're going to El Paso does not know how to read a map.
Yeah.
Well, the border is the most secure there. That's the most secure area of the border is El Paso. So the fact that she's going there, she's like, "There's no crisis here." It's like, well, yeah, because no one's trying to go over.
Yeah.
That way.
I think she's afraid that if something does happen, if like a cartel jumps over the border and tries to kidnap her, she knows that her bodyguards aren't hired on their qualifications. So
Oh, yeah.
she's just scared.
They won't be able to.
Well,
save
maybe
her.
she'll change her mind about her wokeness and be like, never mind, I need people to actually be able to protect me. Let's stop hiring people based on things that don't matter.
Let's red pill Kamala Harris.
Be like, no,
Let her know. Get her
we just
out.
want to protect you. Listen. Do this.
Oh my gosh. Enjoy the long weekend.
Oh my God.
I've never been to
Well,
Europe.
also, if you don't like support your country, if you don't love your country, then like you should probably leave.
Come
Yeah.
on. Woke businesses need
And
a
that's-
Why can't woke businesses just like
I
like
love
that?
when the whole Free Palestine movement or whatever, like all these like the LGBTQ was trying to go woke on the whole situation there. And it's like, don't you realize that people over there kill people like you? They kill
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
like
exactly.
LGBT. It's hilarious that they're
You'll
trying to
get
go-
thrown up a building if you're gay
Yeah,
in the Middle East.
they do not want your help.
Yeah.
They're
They don't
trying
want
to
your
make
help.
that woke, and it's just like, don't you guys understand that not making everything woke?
Yeah,
Like,
you're
something
making
woke
everything
won't
woke.
fix anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna damage the very people that you're trying to claim to help. That's what I don't like about like these woke businesses. They like try to make it all about race, race, race. And I'm gonna say this to everybody and to those that are even watching. Here's a simple reminder: I don't care what you are. Critical race theory is a doctrine of demons, man. Thank you. Come on, bro.
Standing ovation there.
Huge things like all these like I guess what LGBTQ is like a huge part of, I guess, the wokeness, but they're always wanting to be accepted, and they're saying, oh, we need to be accepted, yet then they want all these businesses to support them. They want a whole month for themselves. That's not really normal.
Well, I know. Well, and then like, which even our military doesn't even get that, and it's like they're the ones that have, you know, risk their lives, get PTSD, you know, lose their limbs, you know, whatever else. They can't even get that. So why should you even get that?
Our military, they get 3 days.
Mhm.
They get the long weekend, as
Yeah.
President and Vice President has said.
Which makes me sick, because if you don't support our military, if you don't support that, who keep our country safe, who is the reason why we are able to have free speech, who, you know,
Yeah.
get out,
Yeah.
get out.
It's like without them, our country would be in flames, invaded by all these different countries. Which is basically happening. We're getting invaded by China, but
Yeah.
we don't know
first we're invading ourselves with stupid stuff and
Yep.
making it easy for them. But yeah,
Or I
We're
like
not
how-
supposed to be submissive,
I like
man.
how they're,
Come on.
I forget where I saw this, but I heard something about the reason that these people are getting a whole month, like the LGBTQ, is because they fight for freedom, or whatever. And I'm like,
oh my god.
I'm like,
There's a long list of people that fight for freedom.
Yeah,
No.
and they're at the bottom. No,
I-
if they even made it, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, think about it. They're not fighting for freedom. They're fighting
They're not
for
themselves.
inclusivity, and
Yeah,
they're doing it. They're going about it the wrong way.
complete
'Cause,
wrong.
you
Yeah,
know,
and they're attacking freedom to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Mhm.
They're using attacks to kind of push this whole idea of we need to be accepted, so we're going to commit violent acts and
Bully
you
until
know
they get accepted.
harass
Oh.
people,
yeah.
which is not the way
Well,
to
but
go.
that's the thing. Like, you know, if they're all about inclusion and equality and all this stuff, but if any one of us went up there and we were like, yeah, you know, we're conservative, we're this, we're, you know, they'd be like, oh no.
Yeah, we'd
oh, no.
instantly get booed.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we'd get
Name
things
call.
thrown
down.
at us. We get called names. And, you know,
Absolutely.
I'd never call someone a name because of their sexual orientation
Yeah.
or the color of
Yeah.
their skin, because it's not something that I think about. It's not something I'm
No.
worried about. You know, you're
Not
a
a
human being. I'm going
defining-
to treat you with respect.
Yeah.
It's-
If you're a good person, if you treat me with respect, I will treat you with respect. It's as simple as that.
It's double standards at their finest.
Yeah.
like
They want to be accepted by us, but then when we want to be accepted by them, they're like, oh well, we can't do
no.
Sorry.
You're
You're
bigoted.
conservative?
They're like,
Homophobic,
and then
homophobic, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You don't like us because we identify as refrigerators, whatever.
Oh no. Or it's like,
that's how
oh
they
my God,
just.
you're a Christian, you're freaking homophobic if you think the Bible says what the Bible says about homosexuality is true. Like
Yeah.
I don't even like whatever the Bible says, it's
Mm-hmm.
completely 100% true. Like if
Well,
the
that's
Bible-
stereotyping
Mhm.
us for one, and then that's what they're fighting so hard against too.
Mhm.
But it's like you're doing that to us, so
Yep. Or,
So, yeah.
Or like
It doesn't make
And then, sorry.
What was it, Zen?
they'll get mad at you for like misgenering or whatever. Like, oh, you gotta accept this. It's like, well, it's not my fault that I grew up learning basic biology.
or not only that, like say if you knew the person before they changed, and you know, it's like you knew them as, you know, Rhonda, and then now they're like
Michael.
Jim.
or
Michael,
something.
yeah, whatever, you know, and it's like, I'm sorry I keep calling you Rhonda, but that's who I knew you as,
Yeah.
Rhonda. I don't know why I chose that name, but yeah.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Like, you think I'm a boy? Oh my gosh! I'm a girl! Like that is a micro Christian.
Like, well, yesterday you weren't, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And that's-
nowadays, they're also trying to brainwash everyone with like these pronouns and everything. Like, you call me by the wrong pronouns. I'm like, you didn't call me by my
Hey,
right pronouns
her.
either.
Them,
Mine is
hey,
God.
them.
That's my
Like,
pronoun.
what's up with that?
One thing that I think is kind of funny is half the time, like this is what I see is that when you use pronouns, half the time it's not when that person's in the room. It's kind of when you're talking to somebody. Like
Exactly.
I'll be using somebody's
Mhm.
pronouns talking to like somebody else. I'll be like, well, this person he did this or she did that.
Yeah.
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 So it's
And
like,
even if
I
you
feel
do
like-
call them by the wrong pronouns, you should just like apologize very quickly and then just move on and not make a big deal out of it at the end of the day.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
like
so-
also, why would you want pronouns, which are like the fillers? Like, I don't know, they're when someone avoids using your name, basically. Why would you want that to be so defining of like who you
Oh,
are,
yeah?
Uh-huh.
feel yourself, and how people respect you? That's so dumb.
Well,
Just use your name.
My pronouns
Never
are
heard.
NEVERXYRXE. That's how I list my pronouns as to counteract the whole pronouns thing. Like, so respect that, Instagram.
Or
Trying to censor me for this.
I like how you're trying to
Can
say,
you even
like,
pronounce it
we-
yourself?
I like how you're trying to say we need to have pronouns and stuff so that people know. It's like, why do you need pronouns?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that hard to identify as somebody.
Yes.
But nowadays it is hard.
Like, come on, man. Like, I freaking just like, I like asked this, like, okay, why do people keep listing their pronouns as she, her, he, him, they, them? I really like don't understand. And I freaking said, like, I swear, man, our generation is getting weirder by the day. We're getting more weird.
Well, and we're not focusing on issues that
What really
honestly,
matters.
yeah. And it's like, can we stop? Like, if you have time to focus on such little things,
Yeah.
like you probably need to figure out something else.
Like,
Yeah.
they literally call them microaggressions. You know.
Yeah, it's like micro. You need a microscope to see them.
Yeah.
Like the wokeness and going back to like the little tiny things. Did you guys hear about the I forget what military base it was, but they had a drag show for the military.
Oh my
They
god.
Really?
I'm out.
They said it was for they said something about it was to it's about the morals of the U.S. military and was to help prepare them with readiness or something.
For what?
I just love seeing a drag show. That really gets me pumped up for war.
Now I'm ready. I
right?
know what for.
I know
Um,
it's just like every time I watch a drag show, it's just my aiming skills, like my shooting skills of the gun, just goes up by 10.
It's
I'm
like
a sharpshooter after watching a drag show or watching grown men dancing in underwear with makeup on.
It's like high key preparation. Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, why is the military allowing drag shows? Okay, that is unnormal. That is degenerate.
Not just allowing
What
it.
person in the
but
military is
sponsor.
requesting a drag show?
Exactly.
It's like, man, I really
I really want to
those.
know
I
how
can't wait
many
to see them.
people ended up showing up to that.
I know, me too.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious.
They probably went to like I don't know, like
They're like, oh,
for a
it's an empty
joke,
stadium.
you know, like
I'll
let's
look
go.
it up.
Most of the real men just went off to go train or like go eat somewhere else. Like,
Go eat.
Yeah.
like screw this. I'm going to the firing range.
Yeah. Like the
Might be more useful in helping save people's lives, you know.
yeah, like the true. Sorry.
Let's be honest, they probably were forced to by the some
Yeah.
queer generals that sit
The
lattes with oat milk.
Hey, I like that.
Well, clearly.
if I have to face that, like if I went to the military, if I was forced to go to like a drag show, I would have just like laid it on this one and be like, this is not what I signed up for when I went to fight for my country. Okay, this is not what I signed up for. Yeah, you go ahead.
That's the other issue too, is like we're getting stuff shoved down our throats that we don't agree with morally, and like that's against like everything that we believe in, and it's like, why is that acceptable? Why is that allowed to be shoved onto me or shoved onto like our businesses, our military, everything like that? Like, why is that allowed?
Yeah.
We should be able to not have that shoved down our throats.
I love the there's another thing, like some places they're trying to make the police forces go woke, which is kind of funny because they're also trying to defund it. So what's the point of going woke if there's no police force because you defunded it?
Oh my god, what a way! Oh my gosh, I can't believe people are trying to like justify like defunding police and yet making the police go. Oh my gosh, liberals, they act so inconsistent with what they believe in. That's what I don't like.
Well, and then whenever more crime happens, they're going to be like, "Oh, why is the crime happening? Why is there more crime here?
It's the weather.
Because you freaking got rid of the police, you idiot."
Hot. It's really hot.
Causation and correlation.
I just
now they're trying to blame
like
Republicans for defunding the police. They're saying, "Oh yeah, Republicans wanted to." I'm like,
it's like, oh really? Did you forget last summer?
Last summer, all y'all liberals crying out defund the police, even though there was freaking rioting in the streets of Minneapolis, in like Seattle, in like.
Well, and then that's
Portland.
where you see a lot of businesses go woke too, because
Yeah.
they're putting Black Lives Matter on their like wood that they're having to cover their
It's like-
windows with, because it's like, oh, hopefully if they see that we support them, they won't, bust out our windows and steal everything in our stores that we worked so hard for.
Statistically, it's a proven fact that if we all put black squares and support Black Lives Matter, racism will stop, and all the weakness will be shut down, and oppression will stop.
Oh my gosh, I never even.
It'll be so dark you can't see.
And I don't know.
I feel like it's so wrong.
That's statistically proven. No, it's all truth. What I just said was all truth. It's all statistically proven.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Where are
Bro.
these stats
We
at?
just don't have the. We just
Where
don't
are
have
the sources,
the
Man, give me
geography
the
for
links.
Like, come on, man. I'm just saying, like, even for me as an Asian, it's like, and for these businesses to go woke with like whole stop Asian hate thing, it's like, as an Asian American, I'm like, okay, but you're like doing like unnecessary mental brain exercises with your minds. It's like you're saying like, oh, You're pointing out that it's all white supremacy that's causing Asians to be attacked when you haven't even looked at the single facts. Like, come on,
Yeah.
man.
I love like a huge example of like woke doesn't really fix anything or doesn't like help with your sales. Chick-fil-A, huge example. They're not woke at all.
I love me some
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A.
They are
Yeah.
doing
The lines are always full.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're sticking with their Christian values, and business
And
isn't leaving
They're
them.
surviving and they're doing great. And most
Chick-fil-A's
people love
based.
them, so
Based.
I used to
Yeah.
work at Chick-fil-A for 2 years, and we didn't worry about whether we were woke or not or inclusive. We just sold chicken to people. We
yeah,
had
'cause that's
lines
what they're
out the
paying
doors.
for.
Yeah, because you worried about your own business.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, look at
And
what
their own
happens with that.
customers.
You worried about a quality customer experience. You didn't
Yeah.
worry about catering to everybody's
Mhm.
needs.
Yeah.
You gave them their food. They paid for their food. Have a blessed day.
Yeah.
Yep. There you
Yeah,
go.
my pleasure.
When I was working there, I was like respectful to everybody. I was more worried about being able to connect with the guest and not like
Pinpoint their politics.
exactly.
Pinpoint the politics. Make
Appeal to them because
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I had tons of people of different backgrounds, ethnicities, political views. I didn't care like what
Yeah.
what
Political
views you stood for or all this stuff. I was just like, okay, you're coming here. Here's your
Yeah.
chicken. I'm taking
Like,
an order. There you go.
coming together over food and
Mhm.
capitalism business, not yeah.
Like I kind of thought of it as like once they came through that drive-through or once they came through those doors, all of our differences were gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, bro.
That's how
We're
I
here to
thought of it.
serve.
At Chick-fil-A.
We're here to serve fried chicken. We're here to serve like chicken sandwiches. Like we're not here to like argue over petty little things. We are here to serve the customers of all walks of life, no matter where they're from. That is why I love Chick-fil-A. I like every time I go there, I always freaking like love their
Yeah.
food, like their customer service, and
Or
like
one-
I
one
love
thing
they
that's
say
kinda
like
nice-
my pleasure.
Or one thing
Yeah.
that's kinda nice is that if you're respectful and nice towards somebody, you'll probably get the same response back, unless they're
Yeah.
a complete
Yeah.
Typically.
But
Yeah. And then that's them.
Yeah.
plenty of times like people come through of they identify as I don't know an attack helicopter. I like okay, here you go, sir. But they want to be identified as something else.
The wrong
They don't
approach
get mad
on
at me
it.
for that. They don't get offended. They're actually super polite to me because I'm super
Yeah.
polite to them. Where if
Yeah.
you go anywhere else and you're rude to them, they'll just be rude back.
Mhm.
And like one of the biggest things that happens to me. So I work in fast food too,
Mhm.
and I'm not a cook. I'm a sandwich artist. I'm right there on the line, speaking face to face with people making their sandwiches. Hey, that's my title, man.
Sandwich.
Anyways, so and there's a lot of kids that'll come up and order, and like they'll say to me, would you like any cheese on that? They'll be like, yes, ma'am. And I'm like, all right, what type of cheese would you like? And I'll completely brush it off because hey, it's not what they called me. It's the
Yeah.
fact that they're being respectful, anyways.
Yeah.
And I look at their parents. I'm like, hey, you're teaching your kid to be respectful. That's all that matters to me.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
but,
Well,
That is unacceptable now. We can't do that anymore. We can't teach our kids that. It's very rude, especially for the people of other minorities and genders. It's very
Yeah.
disrespectful. Holding a door for a woman.
Oh yeah.
you're implying that they can't open the door for themselves. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Saying hello, saying sir, ma'am.
Yeah, it's like don't hurt people.
You can't do that anymore. I'm sorry. We gotta stop it.
Mm-hmm.
So going back onto the woke business, I like what Steven said earlier about petty.
Yeah.
Because if you look at, I don't know if we have it in our sources, but I know that Will and Amala talked about it on their podcast. When it comes to
shout
like, the
out
whole
to PragerU.
Hey, shout out to PragerU, hey.
Yo,
Yeah.
Check it out on Instagram, Twitter,
That's what brought
YouTube.
us together. So
Hey,
sponsored by the
so
way,
yeah.
Yeah,
Not sponsored.
Thank you to our sponsor.
We are open.
but they can if they want to,
Yeah.
But
Don't forget to
But-
join Prager Force too. That's what we're part of.
Prager Force.
Definitely, yeah.
That's how we met. So
But yeah, so they talked about a pretty petty business practice on Burger King's part when they came out with the I can't remember what
It was the chicken
was it-
sandwiches. Every time.
oh, it was the chicken sandwiches, yeah.
So what it was is every time Chick-fil-A made sales with their chicken sandwiches, and then also Burger King's, they would donate money so that little kids could transition genders, which is child abuse.
Absolutely.
And
It's
and the part that's petty about it is they put in their little advertisement. They're like, you can buy the chicken sandwiches, and it's like even on Sundays. You know, throwing shade at Chick-fil-A when they're just minding their own business making chicken, man.
I saw
Come
one where,
on.
McDonald's tried to do that. They said we sell chicken sandwiches on Sundays, and then Chick-fil-A got them back and said at least their ice cream machines are working. That was pretty funny.
Well, and honestly, like,
I can confirm they do work.
well, and then the reason why Chick-fil-A isn't open on Sundays is because it is a Christian-based store.
Yeah,
Okay,
so not only are you being petty, but you're also being like
disrespectful.
kind of
to them.
intolerant and disrespectful to their religion.
Also, like, kind of, Sunday, like, even if you didn't believe in, like, the Christian religion, you still have
Right.
The Sabbath, yeah.
Like, car dealerships are closed on Sundays.
Yeah.
A lot of
Banks are closed on Sundays.
Tons of businesses were closed on Sundays because that was the thing that everybody did. That was the norm.
Well, and then it's like, you know, you're expected to respect like all these different cultures and stuff like that. Well, why aren't you respecting that? You know,
Yeah.
that's part of
One of the
the
biggest
Christian culture is on Sundays you don't work. You know.
But
Yeah.
Christians are homophobic, transphobic, racist people, you know?
Oh yeah.
I hate that
yeah,
so
we-
much
we-
because because what it is it's a terrible misinterpretation of what the Bible is saying. You know, it's saying that. So to speak on the whole racism thing, you know, people talk about like, oh, there was slavery in the Bible, and I'm like, yeah, the Jews were enslaved, and the whole story of Exodus is about them escaping slavery. You know, so clearly the Bible does not condone slavery, and then it talks about so with homosexuality being a sin. You know, that doesn't mean they're terrible people.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't mean that they don't deserve love and respect from anybody,
Absolutely.
regardless of what they believe in.
Mhm.
You know, it's not homophobia. It's just not agreeing with the lifestyle. You know.
Yeah.
And the one thing people don't get is everyone sins.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Everyone sins. We
Everyone
all sin
sins.
differently.
Mhm.
Everyone's sins are differently.
Yeah.
And I know this is like we're starting to go into a religious phase, but
Mhm.
it doesn't matter how
Yeah.
you sin. It just matters
Yeah.
with what you do with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What
And
you got,
also,
what you
like,
do with it.
Yeah.
Jesus was the one hanging out with the sinners. So it's not like, oh yeah, the
Yeah.
Bible says to shun people who are gay
Mhm.
or lesbian
No.
because it's against that. It says
Mhm.
the opposite.
Mhm.
It is against that, but it doesn't say it says you must love
Well,
like
that-
you're saying.
Exactly. Well, and it's like I'm a Christian and conservative, and I have many gay friends. I have many gay and lesbian friends, and
Oh, yeah.
it's like,
Come on, bro. Like,
Like
Me personally, I don't really have a huge problem with people that are gay and lesbian because most of those people, they kind of just mind their own business and live their lives normally,
Yeah.
like every other
Yeah.
person.
Right.
It's when it's
the bisexual, pansexual, aqua, water, fluid people, whatever they are,
Yeah.
that believe everyone can love, everybody should learn how to love, love is love, all of this, that,
you have to talk
ABC.
about me a certain way.
Yeah, and see, my issue is when somebody makes it their like one character trait. You
Yes.
know, because you're
that does
not.
not define you. You
Yeah.
being gay, lesbian, whatever, it doesn't define you. That's
Which
not. If
should
you're a
be-
good person, that's different.
Yeah.
They're
Which
like,
should be a respectful thing to say.
or like they're like oh, like our gender or sexual orientation identify, like it's our identity. It's like not really.
Yeah.
You don't see straight people going out in the streets and like screaming, "I'm straight."
Yeah.
Anybody who doesn't accept this is a bigot.
Yeah.
'Cause, you know,
exactly.
it's not how it is, and nobody. There are definitely some people out there. You know, there are some bad
Yes.
apples out there who are going to, you know, be super intolerant of how you
Yeah.
live,
Yeah.
and you know, just ignore them, man.
Yeah.
Because that's how
Yeah.
there are people all over the
That's
world
life.
like that.
Mhm.
That's how life works. Just know that you are who you are, and because of what you believe in, it doesn't change how others should feel about you. And if they do feel differently about you because of it, then they're not worth your time anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
like they're always like, oh, you're hurting our feelings or whatever. It's like
yeah.
we're not
Facts
gonna
don't care about your
base-
feelings.
We're not gonna base our entire country
Or why?
off
Yes.
of your feelings.
Yeah.
Feelings are
The
not
founding
facts.
fathers, when they founded this country, They didn't base it off of feelings.
No, it would have been awful, and we wouldn't have a country anymore.
The British, there would have been no point to leave the British then.
Yeah,
Come on.
it was more comfortable, I'm sure, to stay with them.
And like
We want to roll.
people are like, oh well, my feelings are hurt because get over it.
Sorry.
Yes, you should apologize and stuff, but
Yeah,
you can get over it. It's not that difficult.
yeah. When we make feelings so important, we're just gonna become obsessed with feelings, and then we're gonna become like super weak, and then that's where we
Which is
get
what's happening.
anxiety and depression, and we care about things that shouldn't matter. So
I mean, like, honestly, woke companies are just pushing victim mentality. Like, the victim
Yes.
mentality,
Yes.
it's just increasing, like,
so annoying.
you're just increasing victim mentality for, like, minorities, even.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
why not teach minorities, like, that y'all can have the same benefits in America as long as you work hard? Like,
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman explained this very well. It's like, does race define, like, how wealthy you can be in America, like, today? He said no.
Yeah.
Like, just put your mind into doing whatever it is you want to do and just work at it. It's like, why do you gotta push like the victim mentality, saying that, oh,
It's
if
so
you're
damaging.
saying if I'm not white, I will always be oppressed by you guys. Like, you're always gonna have like more opportunities than me in America just because of your skin color, which is so not true.
It's
I
not
have
true.
just as every much of an opportunity to like succeed as you guys.
Mhm.
Yeah,
anything,
it's
it's the-
honestly.
If anything, it's the opposite of true since
Yeah.
affirmative action, because a lot of white Americans and even Asian Americans are being cast aside,
Yeah.
even though they meet qualifications, they have ISAT scores, a good GPA, and it's because these colleges are focused on having a good amount of diversity and having everybody in the world having an equal kind of like slot into this section of the world, when that's not how it is.
What they're
Yeah.
trying to do is they're also trying to push segregation too. They're trying to push these minorities to the side and say, well, oh well, they're victims and the whole thing. It's
They
like,
need to be
why
over
don't
here.
you let them voice that? Why don't you if they're victims, why don't they go say it?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like skin color, especially. It's like a way I think of skin color is like it's like hair color, but it has more background about who, like, where you came from. But other than that, it's not going to be like, oh, they're a bad person or they're a good person because of their skin color, because that's not a defining thing for your character or anything else. And then also, if people act oppressed, like if people are told that they are oppressed and they act oppressed, they're going to basically be oppressed. But the oppression is from themselves and the people telling them that they are oppressed, because you only progress as much as you have determination and think you can. If you don't think you can, you're not going to. And
It's like a lot of like I hear a lot of, like African Americans, like people are trying to say African Americans have been oppressed for years, plenty of years, and it's like no, they haven't. Did you know that African Americans fought alongside the American Revolution? African Americans have been a part of this country as much as anybody.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah,
there was
it's just
slavery.
That's because even though they were held in bondage, they still believe in like what America stood for, and that's how it is for even Africans who are coming
They
over to the
still
United
love
States
their
now.
country.
Yeah, they
and they
understand.
overcame.
They understand that they
strong.
if they fought, there would come a time when the people in charge looked at like how the government was going and how the nation was going and realized, this is not how we should be doing things.
Yeah,
And that's what happened.
Yeah,
That's
literally.
what happened.
Yeah.
But it's like, then why do I don't understand. It's like with black people, when they point out slavery, like when people point out slavery, they always point to America, like America had slavery. Okay, there was slavery around the world too. It's
Everywhere.
There was a huge amount of slaves in Egypt. That's how the pyramids were built.
Again, the Bible,
And the Bible is a huge example. There's the Israelites. They were slaves to Egypt.
Yeah.
Come on.
They were slaves to Babylon, Persia.
Yeah, they always go back to our country, and it's like, for most Black Americans, I think the issue needs to be resolved like in their homes. It's like, I don't think at this point it's like, well, the welfare system is not needed. Like, and I can't believe like woke company, it's like they're also pushing for like I said, woke companies, they portray this stuff to they want to claim they want to help minorities, but then they rarely help minorities, or they don't help actually look into their solutions at all. It's like they just want to keep pushing welfare state, but that doesn't really work.
Or a huge
Why not
throwing
teach
money
them
throwing
personal
money at the issue never
responsibility?
works.
Makes it worse.
Well, and that's what I have the issue with is like you're telling people that because of their skin color that they are being oppressed, which you know, they're not. And so that you're going to keep beating this into them that they're not good enough. They're not good enough. They're not good enough. And that, you know, all these white people who are so woke. Okay. And they're like the loudest ones. So you think your voice is louder than, you know, the people that are actually suffering. And I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with thinking that, you know, someone is better than the other based off their skin color.
Or another thing is, a lot of times is the people they don't want to do any work. Like they're always like, oh, we're oppressed, we're not allowed to do it because of skin color. No, you don't want to put any work into it. You don't want to do any.
Or it's the welfare system. We talked about the welfare system. If you make so much money, you can't get help. If you have two parents in the household, you can't get this. Or, you know, so it has encouraged the more single moms and all of that. So that is causing, you know, there isn't a father figure.
That is, and that is the, like, when people claim there's systemic oppression and systemic racism. Like, not really, but if there is, then that is it. Obviously, the thing that's literally making Black people like be way behind everyone else just because of how the government has set up incentivizing
staying at home instead of going out and getting a job. And
which is always a good step, like going out.
Wait a second. I thought like we believe like we can't let the government incentivize. I thought we shouldn't incentivize or disincentivize behavior with the government.
Yeah,
exactly.
Or I think also like being oppressed is kind of a trend now. Like Michelle Obama, she's oppressed.
I know, and look at where she's at.
Like you live in the White House.
Exactly. You live in the White House.
Yeah,
Which, by the way, it's not racist, but it's
well, and then that shows you right there. You also have the power to change your life, the way that your life is that your life is going, and like with kids that are having to live in more, you know, poor areas, or like more of like whatever, if you want to call it the ghettos, whatever you want to call it, you know, they do see people committing crime. They do see stuff, and you know, that is more normalized. And so, of course, if they keep seeing that, they're more likely to go along with that. But they also have the choice to be able to go separately and not, you know, live that life. You know, there's a book out there. It's where 3 Black men that grew up in the same community together, and they all ended up becoming doctors. And so it's like they were able to change their lives and do what they needed to do and get out of that lifestyle.
This reminds me of Carol Swain. Like she grew up in rural Virginia, dirt poor, and then she, at the end of her life, she ended up becoming an Ivy League professor in political science. So it is definitely possible, just as long as if you work hard, not crazy hard, but just hard.
Oh yeah, if Black people are oppressed, then like it would have been very, very, very difficult for like, or maybe Tim Scott would have not likely been a senator of South Carolina. Like Tim Scott, he's a
we wouldn't have had a president that is part Black. You know,
exactly.
They're so oppressed.
Or another. I don't know if you guys seen this movie. I think it's The Pursuit of Happiness, starring Will Smith.
Yes,
that's a great movie.
It is a great movie.
This Black guy and his kid, his wife left him, and they're living in like subways and on the streets in like bathrooms and stuff. And then he went and got a job and made a name for himself. Now,
is that on Hulu or Netflix or something? So people know.
I believe you can go watch it on Hulu. And I think Netflix. I believe so. I'm 100% sure it's on Hulu. Netflix, I'm not too sure. You can probably just look it up online and it should pop up like where you can watch it. But it's a really good movie. I recommend it. It's kind of like debunking the whole oppression thing, you know. It's based on a true story too, which is like, if there was oppression, how is that a thing? You know?
I mean, like, come on. I don't understand why, like, honestly, I just thought the leftists were going to tone down and just like after like Biden got elected, quote unquote, I thought the leftists were just gonna tone down for some reason as they promised to, because they keep ratcheting things up under Trump, and they're like, "Oh, we're not gonna stop unless we elect a progressive president." But when they got what they wished, they just
won't forever.
Well, you have to realize there's another election in 2 years, and they want to hold that House majority, which definitely isn't going to be happening with everything that's happened in the first. How many months has it been since Biden's been in office? You know, I doubt the majority of the nation is gonna. It's been 6 months. I doubt the majority of the nation is going to want, you know, a House and Senate that's majority Democrat when nothing really has been done.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Unemployment
We've
hasn't
actually
been
had a
addressed.
lot more issues, and it's
Gas
like
has gone up. Exactly. More issues.
Yeah. Everything's
I like how they're trying to say, "Oh, Trump was the cause of it," and they're still trying to blame Trump. Trump's out of office right now. You got,
I know.
you got a puppet.
Well, and we had the highest employment rates. We had all of this, and then now look at where it's at now. The unemployment rates are insane.
Yeah, it's because they're paying people not to work.
It wasn't Donald Trump that was starting all this. It was the media. It was the left wing.
Absolutely.
It was the big businesses during COVID. All these
Woke businesses.
Yeah. You see, every mainstream, you know, big business had a logo on a mask. You know, it's they're doing these things so, and the mask thing was definitely so they could get money. You know, that's merchandise. That's literally merchandise. So
there's like so many businesses that I saw they have their own little personal logos on the mask. They're trying to charge like $10 for a mask that's useless.
Well, and then also like with the podcast, like I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I end up having to stop listening to podcasts because here they are bringing in their politics into it, and it's like I just want to listen to about serial killers, okay? Like, you know, I mean, my goodness.
I don't care about the serial killer's political beliefs. Just tell me who they killed and how they killed them.
Oh yeah, so this serial killer. Oh, by the way, he's gay. He.
And we support that community, and we support all of that, and
we support.
You better support it too, or don't listen to our channel.
We support the serial killer in his political views, but not we don't condone him killing. You know,
he identified as innocent, so he was let go.
Oh yeah.
If we get arrested, I'll just say, "Hey, I identify as an innocent man.
Yeah.
So you can't arrest me."
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna happen one of these days. Is somebody's gonna get arrested? They're gonna be in court. And they're gonna freak out at the judge saying that they got misgendered or something, and then the whole court case is just gonna.
Yeah, like literally, they can't do anything from that point because you know, as soon as they do something to punish that person, it's no longer a legal issue. It's now a social issue. Which,
woke is just so bad. Honestly,
sort of like people are like getting arrested or something, or like they're caught red-handed committing crimes, and they're like, "Oh, well, you're treating us this way because of like our race or our gender or whatever." Like I saw I forget where I saw this. It was like a video. This person was getting arrested, and they're like, "Oh, you're arresting me because you're a straight white cop, and I'm a smoothie or something, whatever they identified as." And they're like, "Well, you're doing this because you're a straight white male cop, and you don't like me or whatever." And the cop was trying to explain, like, "No, you're committing a crime. This is why you're getting arrested. This is why you're being pressed for charge." Yeah. It's ridiculous that they're trying to kind of get out of jail with that.
Today's segment is What's Up with Biden, where basically we talk all things Biden during this entire segment. So strap up.
Yes, what is up with our president, bro? Bring it on.
Or as Biden would say himself,
you ain't black.
We're kicking it off with a banger, all right?
Woo!
So, recently, Biden was talking about, I mean, of course, it is 4th of July weekend. Today it is the 3rd for us. So recently, not necessarily Biden himself, but during the Biden administration, whatever the crap it's called, the freaking circleback girl, I can't say her name, so I'm not going to try to say her name.
Jen Psaki.
Psaki. All right, we'll take it as that. We'll call her I'm just going to refer to her as circleback girl, okay?
Perfect.
Yes, nice.
She was bragging about how we all have 16 cents off of our local barbecues
Oh my
this
gosh.
weekend.
Let's
Even
go.
though the gas prices have raised through the roofs. Like in
Oh.
California, it is literally $5 a gallon in some places.
Yeah.
Andrew, can you testify?
Yeah, the gas here is almost $5
Oh
a
my
gallon.
gosh.
Wow,
Good
that's
grief.
a
Man.
ridiculous
Oh my
amount.
gosh. It's like, it used to be like I think $29 to fill up my car, and now it's like $33. It kind of
Yeah.
Mine's like a solid 50. Mine's a solid $50.
Gosh.
Got
Yeah.
a huge gas tank.
Hey, but,
It's not a huge gas tank.
hey,
I
but
went
at
through it
least-
in a day.
At least we get cheap hot dogs now for 4th of July.
yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, let's
16
get some
cents
barbecue.
off.
Cheap barbecue, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Hot dogs.
Can't forget gas.
Alright.
We need cheap hot dogs.
Yeah.
We're having-
Beer?
We're gonna be having
Worth it.
powered cars.
Who doesn't want a barbecue for like less than like 16 cents? Like, come on.
But our corn price.
I mean, I wouldn't have even noticed.
Yeah. I don't think last time I was in the grocery store, I wasn't worried about how much hot dogs cost.
I expect to walk into the grocery store and just see like hot dogs, and it's gonna say 16 cents off, and you'd be like,
I
sweet,
think like the
yes.
only people that would care about that are like the coupon moms. You know, like the
Yeah.
moms that walk in with the coupon folder. You know, they're like, "Oh my gosh, the hot dogs are on sale. I need."
I've
to
got a
buy
half
all
off
of
coupon.
these."
I've got a half off coupon, and with
Oh
the
my
16 cents, it'll be even better of a deal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Save a
My
whole
group, we
18
talked about it. We're gonna all put in like a pot to get so many hot dogs for the 4th of July weekend.
Oh my gosh. What else is there on Biden besides the whole 4th of July thing?
Well, other than that, he plans on nuking us. Just kidding.
Oh God.
Oh my
Recently,
Lord.
though, Biden did say himself that in order for you to overthrow a government, you need F-15s and nukes. So the market has increased drastically.
Hey, ever since Biden said he's gonna nuke our country, Bethesda announced real life Fallout 4.
Oh really? Oh wow.
Yes.
I think Costco is actually having a sale on nuclear warheads at the moment. So
Yeah, I was at, I believe it was Walmart, and they had like a whole aisle for F-15s. You know,
Really?
I
gotta check that out.
Rainbow flag. There's so many customizations. It was amazing.
Yeah, they're now selling on Oculus. You can get a Oculus headset, and it's actually custom made, so it has the front cut out, and you can actually play a nuclear war zone game
Oh my
through your Oculus.
Oh,
No, that's a
wow.
fake thing. Oculus is not really doing that. I don't. Whatever. It's a joke, everyone. Okay.
I feel like they can tell this is satire. If they can't, then that's their problem.
If you're on this show, just assume that if something sounds so ridiculous, either look it up yourself or just assume that I'm lying to you. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
But then
Yeah,
again,
we have
people believe
credibility
our
with that.
president that's in office right now. So who knows?
Yeah. Yeah,
Put
we
the quotation marks on president.
We're gonna just
Put the
standards are pretty low.
We're just gonna be a huge disclaimer at this part. Disclaimer: this is a joke. Don't believe anything that is said.
Just talking. Assume it's fake news. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, not all of it is.
Trust in him like you trust in CNN.
There should be there should be like you know, like the smart TVs when you can like pick networks. They should have before you go into like CNN or whatever. It's just disclaimer: this is fake news. You might lose brain cells while watching it.
Yes,
Was
there
there one more
was,
thing?
but I forgot it.
No.
Oh, hey, that's actually smart. I see what you did there.
I don't think he did that on purpose, but that's a good
I
joke.
did not. Sorry, the mic right now is not working. I can't hear what they're saying to me.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
And you didn't bring your flashcards, did you? You don't have
I
your
did
list
not
of
bring my
people you need to call on?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Steven, you're next on the list. Sorry, but yeah, you're on the list. So, what do you have to say?
What I have to say about what, sir? That I missed?
About Biden falling down the stairs.
Whoa, Biden falling down on the stairs. Yeah, that was. I feel bad for him. I literally felt so bad for Biden falling down the stairs. It's like he's getting quite old. Like I feel bad for him because his health is declining, and so I believe if Kamala Harris takes over, then that's just gonna be bad for the country. Considering what the Biden administration has failed to do, especially with the border crossings And we have a president that's like, he's making our country look weak
Yeah.
because he himself is looking weak, and I feel bad for him.
Oh, going to Biden falling down the stairs. I think we got a clip of that. Let me pull it up.
Is it? It's exclusive footage.
Oh,
Everyone.
yes.
Here you go.
Footage we got, even though we're kind of late to the scene, this is exclusive footage. Only we're allowed to.
Only us. No,
We
no
just
other,
have to talk
no
about
other
it now,
news
so it's
media.
not even more later. You know.
We're just bringing it back up, you know.
Yes, you know,
Yeah.
like the left brings back oppression. Like
Yes.
Since we were not around, since our podcast was not around during the time of this, we are covering it now.
Yeah, and we might be
For your
covering it
enjoyment.
too, so it's fine.
I just realized I have to edit this out. I'm getting a Fall Guys or whatever. Fallout. What the heck? Fall Guys ad. Okay, let's watch.
Sponsored by Fall Guys.
Fall Guys.
Again,
Don't say that.
that's
Don't say that.
that's not a
Don't
real
say that.
thing. It's
Yeah,
not a
don't
real
say
thing.
that.
Everyone, remember, I'm CNN, guys. Okay,
Just to
remember.
let you know, guys, this is unedited. I don't know why it's taking forever, but it's yeah,
It's the raw footage.
raw footage. I don't know why my screen is just. One sec, I might need this.
Cut.
I think it's Biden running
Cut,
the
cut.
server.
Oops.
Hey guys,
We're
cut.
actually getting censored right now, is what's happening.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Can you see it?
How do I press play?
No.
No.
No,
No.
you're not screen sir.
This is a big.
We have
time
that in
for
my room.
Edit's finest.
Should I share the clip? Oh, should I share the clip of Biden falling down the stairs?
We'll add it in.
Yeah, there we go.
Or never mind. It's right here.
I like
Oh.
how the guys probably tell us how to
Stairs
walk
of
up
horror.
the stairs, probably.
Yeah.
And-
Let's see how he's doing.
It really is telling of.
He's doing good. Oh, wipeout.
Yeah, and it really is telling of how the left like kind of portrays this, because they're not saying anything about this, but you know, when Trump was walking off Air Force One and he was holding the railing, they're like, oh, he isn't strong enough to like walk down the stairs on his own. Clearly, he's not fit to be president. I mean,
Yeah,
Is
when
it-
Trump was doing something regular, like people
Mhm.
do hold railings while they walk down the stairs.
Yeah.
or like when he held his cup with two hands. You know, he is an older dude. You know, you can't expect him to be 100%,
Superman.
but
I hold
still.
cups with two hands. That's just how I hold my cups.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I hold my hand
Cool.
sanitizer with two hands.
I hold it with like one hand.
You gotta be
you know?
careful of that stuff.
Oh yeah, that stuff saves lives. So
Somebody got.
That is all with What's Up with Biden.
Let's go.
So we will now end the segment and transition it back to you.
Yeah.
Hopefully he falls down the stairs again because
We are
No,
not
don't do
inciting
that.
violence,
No.
everyone.
Not
That's a
inciting
disclaimer.
violence.
That was a joke. That was a joke.
that was a joke, guys.
misinput,
case
misinput,
No one had.
misinput.
End of the segment. The Biden, What's Up with Biden segment, it's over. Okay, everyone, it's over. Stop talking before it get canceled.
I think we're gonna end our podcast here. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was the conservative input. We're gonna be here hopefully every Saturday.
Yeah.
So
It's not gonna be the same faces every time, but
yep.
Mhm.
I mean,
Or
I'll
new
still be
people
here.
each time.
I'll still unfortunately be here. You'll have to suffer seeing my white pale face.
oh jeez, poor us.
Poor.
You're racist.
Oh yes, my racist.
Oh yeah. Don't play the
Racist
identity politics. Wait,
color.
play
Also,
identity
don't forget,
politics.
4th of July is tomorrow. I better see.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
If not,
Hey,
I'm moving countries.
USA.
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 Enjoyed. See you guys next Saturday. I think. What's our next topic? It's gonna be.
To be determined.
did we come up with it?
To be determined.
To be determined. Let's go with that.
Yeah, to be determined.
See you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed.